eligibility for that was BTech B, MTech ME, and MCA. Being from BCA, I was just hesitating to apply. This is the decision time, and they are not giving any offer to anyone. So this was very
Mm-hmm.
disheartening for me. But I was thinking like I might get rejection. Like if I'm not an engineering student, it was quite difficult in the online assessment, and in interview it was a slight easier than that. If we are knowing the approach, it is not enough. How we are
Mm.
conveying it, how we are explaining it to the interviewer, this thing matters in the interview. I have learned like trees, arrays, linked list, string, greedy problems.
Mm.
This is a myth among students. Like getting a referral will take us to the offer. Companies do hire BCA regardless of their degree, but they should have the correct skills required for the role. We can see that BTech students are doing too much of hard work.
Hello everyone. Today we have with us Vaneela. She's an upcoming SD at BNY Mellon, and today she's here with us to share with us her interview experience. Hi Vaneela.
Hi, Shashank sir.
So she also cracked multiple companies. Other than that, she has also experience mentoring and being a teaching assistant. So yeah, Vaneela, you can give more introduction about yourself and what companies you cracked.
So, first of all, I would like to say thank you for inviting me to your channel. And for more about myself, I'm Vaneela Khatri and I'm doing BCA from JVCRC University. It's an online mode, so I don't go college. And currently, it's my final year. So, telling about myself, in my second SEM, I cracked a startup and I was working there as a front end intern, and it was my very first offer. After that, I started learning DSA and C++. So after 6 months, I was able to crack a teaching assistant position at Coding Ninjas. So I worked for 3 months there, and after that, I applied in so many companies like Amazon, PhonePe, LG Ads, Intuit, Coinbase, and lastly the BNY Mellon, which is I'm currently having an offer from. So from my experience started from the day when I started my BCA, and I started learning C++, Python, and so just learned the basics of programming. And after that, I started learning web development and cracked my first internship in second semester. So after that, I applied in a Amazon Wow program. Amazon Wow is a diversity hiring program for women engineering students. But the eligibility for that was BTech B, MTech ME, and MCA. Being from BCA, I was just hesitating to apply, but I just wanted to apply. Like if there won't be any offer, I will get just experience. So I applied and
Mm-hmm.
I got test link. First test link, I cleared the test, and after 2 months, I got second test link. I cleared that too, and after 3 months, we had interviews. And after
Mm-hmm.
giving the interviews, and the interview went very well. After that interview, after 2 months, we got mail that this is the decision time, and they are not giving any offer to anyone. So this was very
Mm-hmm.
disheartening for me. But I didn't stop applying. After applying after that I applied in PhonePe. There's a program named PhonePe Tech Scholars. It is also for a woman students. So it is for a final year student. So at that time I was in my fourth sem, but I applied like I'm a final year student, and I was selected in that. And it was a very tough competition. Like 24,000 girls were applied, and 400 out of those were selected. So I was selected in that. After that, there was an apprenticeship from PhonePe and Cryo. So we learned advanced data structures and backend development, API creation, and all. And after
Mm-hmm.
that, they had one more online assessment. So and after clearing that, they conducted the interviews for SD roles, and I unfortunately I was not one of those. So
Mm-hmm.
after that, I see this BNY Code Divas opportunity, and it is also for
Mm-hmm.
girls students. So BNY Code Divas Diversity Challenge. It was on Hacker Earth. So I saw this on Hacker Earth, and I applied in this. Just appeared for the test, and it was quite tough. Like they had three questions to be solved in 2.5 hours, and I solved the two
Mm-hmm.
questions completely, and one it was very tough. So I was able to solve it partially, and After a week, we got mail like you have cleared this round and you are invited for second round. The second was also on
Hmm.
Hacker Earth, and it was also an online assessment round. And it had one programming question, one SQL question, and 10 MCQs of CS fundamentals, OS, CN, and DPMS. So it was also 2.5 hours long, and the programming question was to be solved in Java or Python specific. So I used Java and it was very tough. So I was able to solve it partially only and solve the
Hmm.
SQL question and the MCQs. And
Hmm.
after 3 weeks, we got mail like you are shortlisted for the interviews, and they conducted a webinar. They told us about the culture of BNY and how they work and everything. So after that,
Hmm.
1 month. After 1 month, they started our interviews. We got a call from HR, and she scheduled our interviews. And the whole process took 4 months. The last interview was scheduled after the 4 months of the webinar. So the whole process was very slow. So after that, in the final round, I told the manager like I'm doing this BCA and it is an online. I never went to college. So I was thinking like I might get rejection like if I'm not an engineering student, as the criteria was there was engineering full time programs only. So I just mentioned because I don't want anything like it will be after getting the offer. So I just told what
Hmm.
is there, and he was like, okay, so you have cleared two technical rounds of, and I have got very good feedback from the interview. So this is not a bound for us. We only hire people who are having talent, not basis of their degrees. So, so
Hmm.
it went very good, and after complete 1 week, I called the HR, and she said you will get your result by today. So by end of the day, I got a selection mail from BNY.
Hmm. Yeah, congratulations once again on that. And thank you for being here and sharing your experience. I know like you are still recovering from your fever and still wanted to do this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, how hard it was being a BCA background to get into SD role.
Um, if we talk about degree, so degree matters until a line like if we are having the skills that are required for the role, and degree shouldn't be bound there. As I see one guy who has done BCA and he was working in a startup for 1 year, and after that he switched in Amazon for SD1 role, and he's currently working as SD1 in Amazon with this BCA only. He didn't even do MCA. So seeing that, I got inspired, and I also started applying in big MNCs like Amazon, PhonePe, LG Edge Solutions, Coinbase, eShaw, and BNY Mellon. So I got online assessment links from many of those and cleared few of them and cracked the offer in BNY. So degree is not a bound if we are having the correct skills. And about CGPA, some companies have bound of CGPA like minimum of 6, minimum of 7, and it this BNY they had a criteria of minimum 7 CGPA, and I was having
Hmm.
7.4, so I was able to crack it.
Hmm. Okay. So usually like online round and face-to-face round and the further rounds, the question difficulty will not really be same sometimes. So like how was in your experience?
So yeah, it was quite difficult in the online assessments, and in interview it was a slight easier than that. But only thing matters is in online assessment we don't have to explain anything. We just have to code,
Hmm.
and the test cases should be passed. And in the
Hmm.
interview we have to explain our approach and our code, how it is working, and code quality also matters in the interview. So these
Hmm.
are the differences in these. But yeah, level matters. So level is
Yeah.
quite easier in interview.
Yeah. So I think what people miss out is usually online rounds are much harder compared to the further interviews. But it doesn't mean everyone clears the interview because they have cleared online, because they maybe miss out on these communication and other soft
Yeah,
skills which are also
communication
important.
skills it matters a lot. Like how we are
Hmm.
conveying our approach. If we are knowing the approach, it is not enough. How we are
Hmm.
conveying it, how we are explaining it to the interviewer, this thing matters in the interview.
Yeah. So maybe your experience with mentoring and being as a teaching assistant helped you there, right?
Yeah, it helped me like. During that internship, I used to debug the students' code and explaining their approaches, and it helped me a lot. Like my confidence was boosted a lot.
Hmm. Yeah. So, like, usually students like, there is a debate always going on, like competitive coding or doing just basic DSAs, which is with standard questions, or doing some development or open source. So, balancing all these three will be difficult, and they try to prioritize one over the other, right? Like, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, prioritizing one is not a good thing. Like we have to be good in any of two, at least any of two. Like if we are
Hmm.
having a good CP background, DSA is a must for SD role.
Hmm.
No matter if we are
Hmm.
doing dev or not, DSA is a must for clearing the interviews.
Hmm.
So DSA is the one thing we should focus on, and CP is like only few companies ask tough questions in their online assessment, right? Like Cognition, uh, and media.net and a few more. So CP is required for those companies only. And if you are doing standard lead code problems, lead code medium hard, so we can clear online assessments with that too in
Hmm.
just general companies. Like in BNY, there was a question which was from Graph and DP and some Zorin too. So it was not a standard problem, but we can find similar problems on lead code. So CP is
Hmm.
not mandatory, but if you are doing CP, if we have time, it is very good. And about development, I did full stack development and made two projects. One was uh, One was in front end that I mentioned in my uh, resume, and one was a full stack. So
Hmm.
it just depends on us. We can make full stack projects or Android or AIML. These also works.
Hmm. Yeah, like I think students are like more always trapped in this debate only. Okay, what to do, which to do, which programming language to choose. Maybe doing them one at a time will be better instead of trying multiple at once.
Yeah, so if we are new to programming, C or Python will work. Like I started with
Hmm.
C and then learned Python and then switched to C++. So for a beginner, C or Python will work. So we shouldn't be confusing. Like any of those work. Python syntax of Python is very easy to understand, and it's like English statements. So it is
Hmm.
very good to start with Python, or we can start with C also, as C is very old language. It was very first language of programming. So this also works.
Hmm. Yeah. So, what was your preparation strategies and what suggestions do you have for preparation?
So preparation. In my first semester, I learned C and Python, very basic programming, because I didn't have programming in my school, so it was very first time I was seeing these programming things. So I started with C and Python, and in first semester I just learned all the flow charts. So what are the flow charts? What is algorithm and all? And I wrote the programs. After that, I started web development, and in the second semester, I did web dev, HTML, CSS, JS, and all things. And I got internship in end of the second semester, which was a front end dev role. And with that, I started DSA with C++ and purchased a course on Coding Ninjas, which was a C++
Hmm.
DSA course. I completed that within 3 months and started practicing questions on lead code, and did this for 6 months. And after that, I applied for teaching assistant at Coding Ninjas. So I cleared that online assessment round and become teaching assistant. Then I used to solve doubts and debug their codes, and
Hmm.
sometimes I also explain the topics to like hash maps and arrays, linked list. Also did this. So this thing happened till my fourth semester, and after that I started applying in MNCs.
So, what suggestions do you have? Like, what should they ensure during an interview or just before the interview starts?
uh, just before the interview. We shouldn't learn new things just before the interview. Like as in my case, I was not having knowledge of graph data structure in my very first interview at Amazon. So rather than seeing that what is graph and how to solve questions of graph, I just focused what I have learned. Like I have learned like trees, arrays, linked list, string, greedy problems. I just revised those questions and got questions from that only. If I was doing like, oh, I don't know graph, so I should learn graph. I have very few time less. So in that case, we can forget the things that we know already. So before the interview, we shouldn't learn new things. We can just revise the things that we know.
And anything else like maybe during interview that they need to keep in mind or ensure?
So during the interview, we should only speak the truth. Like if we don't know anything, we shouldn't say like, okay, so this is the thing. Okay, yeah, yeah. We should start saying like, oh, it can be this, it can be that. We shouldn't be like this. We should be clear. Okay,
Hmm.
sir, I don't know this. I was just preparing for this, and I will search on this. Like we should give a
Hmm.
positive response towards it. If we don't know anything.
So as you said, you had applied for multiple companies and got selected in some of them. So how did you handle rejections and how did you improve over them?
So after getting rejections, it was quite sad. Like I got rejection after doing this, so many preparation and giving the online assessments. But knowing that I got rejection, it means my preparation is not up to the mark. So the only thing was I kept upskilling myself and tried to manage the time wisely. Like maybe there was a timestamp criteria. The one who solved the questions more with lesser time got selected. So I just tried managing the time and practiced more.
What is one key learning that you think you can share people that will help them a lot, depending on your mentorship experience and how what kind of common questions people are asking you?
The one key is we should more focus on problem solving and rather than just learning the answers. Like this question is this, we will use this approach for this. We should know the quality of questions, like this the pattern of questions, and we should know the pattern and which algorithm we can use, how we can optimize this, which other algorithms can be used. So this thing matters. Like we can solve one question with different approaches, and what people does, like they just only remember one approach, one or two of those. So there might be a confusion like, hey, he's solving with this approach. This also works. I have never heard about it. So they should even do the research after doing. Like in lead code, we have a discussion section. So after solving a problem, we should see the discussion section. We can see others code there. So this is a very
Yeah.
good thing to learn.
What do you have to say about roll of luck?
Luck matters in interviews, not online assessments. So in my
Hmm.
case, there might be some interviews they will ask you medium or easy level questions, and some interviews can ask hard questions too. So to my friends, some of my friends, they were asked tough questions, and in my case, I was asked only medium problems. So luck matters there just a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think usually in online contests, everyone gets all the same questions, but there
Yeah.
are some coding contests where they have a pool of problems and randomly three are picked. So this actually happened during my Amazon internship test, where some people got all three hard questions, some
Yeah.
got two easy and one medium like that. But yeah, that
Hmm.
also there also luck matters if it happens like that.
But luck more
Yeah.
matters in interviews.
Yes. Yeah. Depending on the more than problem difficulty, what is the mindset of the interviewer at
Yeah.
that point? Is in the right mode or is he pissed off with something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interviewers' mood matters a lot.
Right. What other important lessons that you think you can share that will be helpful for aspiring interviewers?
Uh, So the lesson is when I got offer and I posted on LinkedIn, I got so many messages from students. They were mostly from BCA and just sent me their resumes and said, "Didi, you got this offer. Please refer us in the company. We also want to become STE." So,
Hmm.
and I saw their resumes. There was only a calculator project and weather app projects. They were very basic projects, and they were just thinking they will get referral, and getting referral will take us to the offer. That they don't know the complete process, how we are doing it. Like there are online assessments, there are so many of interviews, and we should have at least medium level projects to get referral. And merely getting referral is not confirming their offer. They should also know this.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
this is a myth among students, like getting a referral will take us to the offer.
And maybe they should know the process and start as early as possible. It's not like they get referral and then they start preparing. Okay, what all topics are there? Like maybe day before exam they can do for clearing exams, but interviews definitely need to start early preparation.
The one and only tip is we should start coding in a very first year of our college, because we have only 3 or 4 years in college, and company starts hiring in third and fourth year. So we have 2 years in our hands. So as in my case, I
Mhm.
started from first year, and in the second year I started applying. So for the whole 2 years, we should focus on DSA, and we should at least make two good projects to mention in our resume. So this thing is very crucial for getting a good job.
Is there anything else you want to mention towards the end?
The one last thing I only mention, for BCA students, you guys just take admission in any random college and you think like with this degree we are not gonna get an SD offer. So this is not right. Like as in my case, I didn't went college. Like I never went college, and currently having an offer. So the thing is, you should just prepare for anything. Like if you see any opening, you just say, "Oh, it's for engineering students. We can't apply." Just do apply, and keep upskilling yourself. Do DSA and make good projects. And companies do hire BCAs regardless of their degree, but they should have the correct skills required for the role. You should prepare for
Yeah.
that too. Like we can see that BTech students are doing too much of hard work, and because they are getting the offers in their colleges, and companies don't visit in colleges. Even if they visit, they don't consider BCA students. So you can apply off campus, and even in startups they hire people from BCA.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all we had planned for the session, Vanilla. Thank you so much for being with us. I know you're recovering from your fever, but still made it here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.